everybody. Today I'm going to read you a story to help us prepare for the beginning of Advent. It's a good story that families can read together, and it's also a sort of project that you can work on as a family throughout Advent in order to prepare for Christmas. So, without giving it away, I'm going to go ahead and read the story. Then I'm going to guide you through a craft that you can do that ties in with the story, and that also is an Advent activity for your family to do together. So, without further ado, I'm going to read The Sparkle Box by Julie Hardy and illustrated by Christine Kornacki. Snowflakes swirled through the air as Sam and his mom stopped to look in the toy store window. With Christmas only a few weeks away, Sam needed to make his Christmas list. He tugged on his mom's sleeve and pointed to the train. He loved the shiny red engine. Later, as Sam and his mom curled up on the couch to read a Christmas book, something sparkly on the mantel caught his eye. "Mom, is that a present for me?" he asked. Sam's mom tousled his hair. "It's a special gift called a Sparkle Box. We'll open it together later, but first we need to fill it." Sam was excited, but it was hard to wait. Driving home from school the next day, Sam's mom stopped at a building he had never been to before. She asked him to help her carry in some food and blankets. Sam peeked into the bag he was carrying and noticed a box of macaroni and cheese, his favorite. "What are we doing with this stuff, Mom?" She smiled and said, "We're giving it to people who don't have enough food to eat or blankets to keep them warm." But inside the building, Sam didn't see anyone who looked cold or hungry, just a nice lady with a big smile who thanked him. On the way home, they drove by the park. It was dusk, and the pretty Christmas lights had just come on. As they stopped at a traffic light, Sam noticed someone on a bench, curled up and sleeping. His mother noticed too. "That's someone who may get one of our blankets," she said softly. "He doesn't have anywhere to live." Sam felt bad. It would be sad not to have a home to live in. Sam hung up his coat. It was good to be home. As he sat at the kitchen table to have a snack, he noticed the Sparkle Box gleaming on the mantel. "Mom, did you put anything in the Sparkle Box yet?" he asked shyly. "Well, actually, I did put something in it today," she answered, "but it's still not ready to be opened. We need to add a couple more things to it." Sam wondered what was inside. The days flew by, and soon it was time for one of Sam's favorite events, the Christmas party at his dad's office. There was always lots of delicious food and a present for every child at the party. Sam's dad thanked everyone for coming. He talked about how blessed they were when many people in the world struggle for something as simple as clean water to drink. He said a village in Africa would receive a special gift this year thanks to money donated by the employees and their families. The gift was a well that would provide clean water for the entire village. Sam asked his mom if his family helped. "Yes, dear, we did." He looked around. The grown-ups were smiling, but he saw tears too. "Happy tears," Mom whispered. As his dad tucked him into bed that night, Sam thought about his Christmas list, and that reminded him of another present. "Daddy, did you and Mom fill up the Sparkle Box yet?" Sam asked. "Well, we added something to it tonight, but it's still not ready to be opened." Sam drifted off to sleep, imagining what could be inside. A few days later, Sam was filled with excitement as he shopped with his mom. Tomorrow was his school party. There was a Christmas tree called a mitten tree where the kids could hang mittens, hats, and scarves for people who needed them. Sam picked out the biggest pair of mittens he could find. He also bought a candy bar for himself with his own money. When he turned to leave, Sam heard the tinkling of bells. He looked up and saw the man from the park bench coming in the door. The man seemed tired. Sam looked at the candy bar in his hand, and he thought about the mittens in his bag. He looked at the man's hands. He looked cold. Sam's heart began to pound. As quick as a wink, Sam slipped his candy bar into the bag with the mittens and pressed the bag into the man's hands. Sam ran out the door shouting, "Merry Christmas!" His mom gave him a hug. "I'm proud of you," she whispered. "I know that wasn't easy, but you brought a little light to his world tonight." Sam asked his mom if they could drive by the park. As he watched the flame on a giant candle blink on and off, he thought about how unfair it was that some people didn't have a home to live in or food to eat. Soon it was Christmas Eve, the most special night of the year. Sam and his family gathered at the church for a Christmas Eve service. They sang songs and listened to the story of the first Christmas. Then in the darkened sanctuary, a single candle was lit. The candle was used to light all the other candles, and soon everyone was carefully passing the flame from one person to the next, until the whole room was filled with a magical light. Sam looked around. How lovely, how peaceful they all looked as they shared the light. On Christmas morning, Sam ran downstairs as fast as he could. Under the tree was the train with the shiny red engine. And what was that? The sparkle box. Sam could hardly wait to open it. He sat on his mom's lap with his dad snuggled in close. Sam slowly lifted the lid of the box. Inside there were just a few pieces of paper with words written on them. Puzzled, he took the papers out and began to read the words out loud. Mittens and a candy bar given to someone in need. Warm blankets and food for the homeless. A well in Africa that will provide clean drinking water. Sam's mom explained. Sam, the sparkle box is our gift to Jesus on Christmas Day, his birthday. Sam was confused. But we didn't give Jesus a gift. We gave things to people who needed them. His mom smiled. You're right, and no gift could make Jesus happier. He taught us that whatever we do for people in need, we do for him. So each year, we'll think of some special gifts to give Jesus. We'll write down these gifts and put them in the sparkle box. On Christmas morning, we'll open the box and read out loud the gifts we gave in honor of his birthday. Sam thought about the man curled up on the park bench, the mittens and the soft blankets, the well that would bring clean water to a village in Africa. He looked at his mom and smiled through tears. Happy tears, Sam whispered. I hope you liked that story, boys and girls. Now it's time to make our own sparkle box. And remember, the most important part of the sparkle box is to fill it with good deeds and things that you can do for others that we give to Jesus. Remember, Jesus said, whatever you do for others, you do for me. So the more we do to help other people in need and our friends and family and all those we meet, the more we're doing for Jesus. Especially during Advent, it's a very important thing to do. Okay, so boys and girls, we're going to make our own sparkle box, and we're going to use something called origami, which is a special way of folding paper to make different things. So we are going to make a box. All you need is your special paper that you should have received in your supplies and some scissors. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our paper upside down so that the inside of the paper or the plain side is facing you. We're going to fold it this way so that we can line up those two corners and make a crease. Just push down a little bit to make a nice fold there. And we're going to open it back up and now fold it this way for the opposite corners and press down. That way when we open it, we'll see sort of an X of folds in the middle. Now we're going to make a lot of different folds and creases. So first things first, we're going to take each corner and fold them into the middle, and then we're going to open them back up. So we're going to fold this corner in, make a crease, then we'll do this corner to the middle, make a crease, this corner to the middle, make a crease, and the last one. Okay, now we have this square here. Now we need to do it again, but this time we're going to reach each corner to the line up near the top. So there's sort of where the lines cross here, and we're going to reach all the way to that part with each point and open it back up. All the way up here to this point, crease and open, all the way to this line here, crease and open, and the last one to here, crease and open. Now we have all the lines we need. Now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to make 2 cuts on each side. So if you look at all of your folds and your creases, you can see this line that runs up the middle here, and you can see this line here and this line here. We're going to cut this line to here and this line to here on both sides. So we're going to go past that first line up to that second crease right here. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. follow that crease up to the second line. Now we're going to turn it over, and opposite this one, we're going to do the same thing. Cut here all the way up to that second line, here all the way up to that second line. Okay, now we are officially ready to fold. We're going to take these two, now if our cuts are here, these are going to go at the top and the bottom. We're going to take those 2 points on the sides, and they're going to meet right in the middle, or close enough. Just follow those creases. Now, these, you can see where it's cut. We're going to fold here, and that's going to be one side of our box, and then we're going to fold on this side up to that cut line, crease. Okay, and those are the sides. Now here where it's cut, we're going to fold these down here, and same on this side, and crease. Now when we put these together like this, we can see the 4 sides of our box. Now this side is going to come right up here, and it's going to wrap around here and tuck in like this. And you can see we have our 3 little triangles in here, and now we're going to make one more triangle by holding this side together while we kind of wrap it with this piece here. Fold it in that crease there. And there you have it. This is the bottom half of our sparkle box. Now what we need to do is we need to do another one, but when we do the second one, we're going to take that square paper and we're going to cut it just a little bit smaller. Okay, so now we're ready to make the bottom half. We'll use this one as the top since it's a full-size piece. This one needs to be slightly smaller so that it can fit inside this top part, so it can slide on top. So we need to cut it just slightly smaller. So if we have our second piece, right now it's a 12 by 12 square. I'm just going to trim a little bit off this edge and a little bit off this edge, and that way our square is just a little bit smaller, so that when we make this box, it'll be just small enough to fit underneath here. So here we go again. Okay, so now with our second box that's slightly smaller, it should fit inside here, well, almost. And there you have a sparkle box, ready to fill with good deeds for Jesus on Christmas.